itself to promote investment between South India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. This office will primarily focus on setting up SARC Industrial Park in Sri Lanka. We believe measures could be taken by the BOI to promote these industrial parks. The parks is that they can help to attract FDI, promote trade and legitimate channels, and thus generating together with technology transfer. HCISL of the BOI and Eagle Eye International based in Sharjah for providing the material support to today's program. I wish business will be safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jarvardhan, for giving us your valued opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, on this very special occasion, I now have the pleasure of inviting our chief guest, who is a veteran and a very respected politician of our country. So without pleasure, inviting Honorable Sarath Ekanaka, Chief Minister of the Central Province, to address you all.
Hello, Vanakkam. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to everybody. His Excellency Mr. Saud Al-Muzri, Director, Sharjah Airport International Field Zone, and Mr. Thomas Joseph, Mr. Ajit Pera, our own Sherry Javadhan, and all from Sri Lanka and also from the other countries. It is indeed that I am proud to state that this have given me an honor and privilege for me to address today at this business forum as Chief Minister of Central Province. In my capacity, I am the Minister of Trade and Commerce as well in the province. In our country to grace this significant occasion. So first and foremost, I must express my thanks for inviting me as the chief guest of today. As you know, today here we have many delegates. So I am not going to speak to our own fellows, my own Sri Lankans, but to the foreigners. So as Chief Minister of Central Province and especially the hill countryside in Sri Lanka, I would be happy to welcome all the delegates warmly on behalf of Sri Lanka. Especially, I would say that you, honorable delegates, are fortunate this opportunity to visit to Kandy, main city of Central Province, as it has high recognition internationally as a site of World Heritage because of Dalada Maligawa, the temple of Tooth Relic, sacred Tooth Relic of Lord Buddha. I would be happy to mention that during your stay in Sri Lanka and especially in this hill countryside, how you feel general atmosphere and environment set up with beautiful nature combined with living community in peaceful manner, although with their ethnic differences as well. Although communities living in this province belong to multi-religious, race, cultural and social life. They are built up such a way to have balanced-minded living conditions. During the visit of His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, Kandy city was referred to as the city of peace. Economically, Central Province is one of the main parts of the country where you will find income-generated products of items for our national income. For example, tea, especially Sri Lankan tea. I know that Ceylon tea is well known in all over the world. Vegetables, fruits, flowers are some of the main revenue-earned productions. Not only that, it is highly recognized our BOI industrial zone, also situated at Palekai, close to the destination as well. While highly recognized international apparel industries also established at this place. So I believe that this will be another step forward for our investors in business trade to strengthen the ties between Sri Lanka and UAE. As you are aware, this forum is based with a main intention to expand the status of business between UAE and Sri Lanka. It is delighted to mention this will open up an opportunity for our Sri Lankan investors to proceed with new business ventures in UAE. We have an obligation, being Sri Lankan, to look back at our ancient history as well. To make a point, how our country had trade links with Arab countries many years back. Actually, it is very clear that in Sri Lanka, before the ruling under the European colonial system, there were situations that Arab traders used to cross over this national and involved in many business activities. Especially, they were keen to have link between central area of our country, as even today in central province is well recognized for spice cultivation and trade as well, cardamons, cloves, pepper, cocoa, likewise. Therefore, trade between Arab and Sri Lanka is not a new venture. You also can understand how the large number of communities living with us here, Islamic faith, and how peaceful manner they attend for their religious and cultural activities. I am a frequent visitor to the iftar, and mostly and in well ahead in trading side of our country. I believe this is high time to strengthen the ties and trade we had earlier to greater extent. This will make more beneficial manner for both sides. In this light, I would be attending the Geneva Scientific Forum on SDG for Healthy Living in Education on 5th for 4 days conference. His Excellency, the President signed his agreement in this subject September 2015 in France with 189 countries. Your country is also in. At last, not least, I wish to take this appreciation with gratitude to the members of SAIF Zone, Federation of Chamber. This is an aims to focus how this forum integrate with bilateral understanding between two countries to uplift the economic standard in our nation. So it is indeed of better point. Thank you with blessings of privilege. Thank you.
Honorable Sir, for your thought-provoking and inspiring. Well, I like what Ms. Ajiti Pereira said a while. Next speaker, and I would like to endorse the fact that he certainly has won the hearts and minds of the industrialists in Colombo, and certainly this is done, of course, with sincerity and for the prosperous future of his country. So without further ado, I have the pleasure of inviting this personality to address you all, the director of the Safe Zone and Humbria Free Zone, Mr. Saud Al-Mazrui.
It's really a pleasure for us to be here in Kandy. It's our first time here. I would first like to appreciate and acknowledge His Excellency Honorary Chief Minister for being with us today. It's a really big pleasure that he can attend our function. I thank him very much for being with us today. I'm sure his schedule is very busy. I also would like to thank the Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Sri Lanka for their continuous support for us to increase the bilateral trade between the UAE and Sri Lanka, and also the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka. And I would also like to especially thank our consultant, Mrs. Marika, for helping arranging this function in this last couple of days. We have been around the world, but I think Kandy is very special for us. We have been here only 2 days. We have another 2 days. I think we're going to experience Kandy very much. It's a very beautiful city, and really it has a special atmosphere, environment, which is unique. And from my perspective and my colleagues' perspective, we travel around the world. We have to be over 157 countries invested in this zone. Our goal is to increase bilateral trade between countries, and our goal is to let companies have the opportunity to expand abroad. The UAE is very unique. It's the third largest re-export hub in the world, and Sharjah is the largest industrial capital of the UAE. It's also the cultural capital of the UAE for education and multicultural societies and religions are already living there. We have over 200 nationalities living in the UAE. I won't be giving you a brief about the zone. My colleagues will be enlightening you more on what our zone has to offer. I hope you enjoy the experience, and thank you for attending our lecture.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those wonderful words expressed about Kandy. And of course, I'm sure all the investors would love to be working with you in the same. And now I have the pleasure of inviting from the BOI, Mr. Darshit Fernando, Acting Executive Director Special Projects. But before he addresses you all, I think we have a video to bring into the world of BOI.
A vibrant gold mine offering an abundance to investors. A country well placed and poised to do. Provinces of the country, and it being the priority of a stable government, the possibility of benefiting from the entirety of the country's enormous potential is real. Value addition is one of the realities that will result in profitable investment. The gold is here for mining. For instance, in tourism and tourism infrastructure. Reputed indices place Sri Lanka in the top 3 amongst its peers in East Asian and South Asian regions. With excellent English language skills and professional training Sri Lankans enjoy, there is much success with BPO enterprises. Electronics and electronics combined.
This is a company making sensors for the aerospace industry. And the cell that you see behind here is the cell where we are making sensors for Airbus 350. We have the most prestigious customer in the world in the industry. We have here 20 engineers, and we are able to here design sensors for the industry.
From increasing development and investment, powerfully project them as a commercial hub in the Indian Ocean. Any mining enterprise requires a platform and facilitation that identifies the mother lode of opportunity. That role is filled by the Board of Investment, or BOI, the agency of government for all investors.
We set up here 16 years ago in Sri Lanka, and you may be asking yourselves why I chose Sri Lanka. Actually, there's a number of very good reasons that it was the correct choice. It also gives very good incentives, including duty-free ministries if there are any problems. Although to be honest, all with the government departments we deal with, which are the Department of Wildlife, Science Department. But if we do, the BOI we know are there and ready and willing to help. It is called in vitro multiplication. It's a process to select the best plants for production and export. Another major are highly trainable. We need those. Sri Lanka has an abundance of those. It has good universities.
A very high quality of life. People and investors enjoy living here. Sri Lanka is considered main. Under the purview of the BOI are several industrial parks and zones with a variety of industries and enterprises, well established and thriving. The investment policy environment in Sri Lanka is noteworthy. Many have already seized the opportunity and have taken the best of advantages made available as part. The impressive range of incentives and benefits are such as investors will find the glister of Sri Lanka's opportunities irresistible. The national economy has demonstrated strong and balanced growth in recent years.
If I talk about the Sri Lanka, very diligent and dexterous. And furthermore, it will be very easy to find out very highly. Generally, labor union and company presidents a very good relation and good harmony. So Sri Lanka has achieving a high growth rate of the GDP every year for foreign investors.
Key sectors targeted as ideal for investment are several. There exists a sophisticated legal and regulatory framework with much that bespeaks further reinforcement of a peaceful, stable, active economy. Clearly, Sri Lanka provides a veritable paradise for people to live and work. Education for children in well-recognized and investors' families. Sri Lanka does offer the best choices for business and the best opportunity of returns on your investment. This is a country enjoying a resurgence. You can have a part in the harvest of its many treasures.
Well, now that we've seen, it's very fitting that I invite Mr. Vidarshan Fernando to just speak a few words. Everybody put your hands together and give him a round of applause.
Members of the table, distinguished guests. Actually, during this, Sri Lanka is intending to explore and several free trade agreements with India, Pakistan, and also we are trying to sign another agreement with China and also Bangladesh. Companies that are located in Sri Lanka will have these advantages of duty-free facilities and entering into these markets. So BUI is very happy to welcome Sharjah Free Zone to invest in projects, as well as Sri Lankan companies can explore the possibilities of expanding their business value. And Sri Lanka is now in a time that needs global business ventures, and this is a good opportunity. And in Sri Lanka, we like to welcome all business opportunities that will be benefiting mutually benefiting all the countries. Thank you.
Thank you. German, we've been talking so much about the safe zone, so I think it's very fitting now that I invite Mr. Jitin Varial, Business Development Officer from Sharjah Airport International Free Zone, to give us a presentation.
Respected entries on the dais, members of BUI and Chamber of Commerce, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you. My name is Jitin Varial, and I'll be taking you through a very detailed presentation on Sharjah Airport Free Zone, which would revolve around today's discussion, expanding business globally. Now, before I take into the presentation, I'd like to just give you a background of free trade zone. UAE, those days, to do business, we required a local sponsor. In those days, to do a business, we required a local sponsor. That means any expatriate, Sri Lankans, Indians, or Asians who wish to start a company in UAE required a local sponsor, and a maximum stake which an individual can have in UAE by owning a company was 49%, and 51% stake goes to a local sponsor. Now, it also to the zone. With this thought, Sharjah government had started Sharjah Airport National Free Zone in the year 1995 with about 55 companies. And today, as we talk, we've grown about 7,500 plus companies with a representation over 155 plus nationalities. Now, before I get into the infographic video, which will enlighten you more about Sharjah Airport International Free Zone.
What are the key factors in deciding?
Viable in terms of cost would be the location. The second would be definitely how logistically viable am I? How logistically well connected am I? Safe Zone is located adjacent to the Sharjah Airport, Sharjah Airport, which is the largest air cargo hub in the MENA region.